Hello. I thank the Art Institute of the National Academy of Sciences for this kind invitation to speak at this conference on William Saroyan. Special thanks to Dr. Anna Asatryan and Dr. Anush Aslibekyan, and personal thanks to Dr. Elfik Zorabian for his friendship over the years. It's an honor to be invited. Let me begin by expressing the concern of Armenians in America and Armenians around the world at this difficult time. We wish for peace, safety, and justice for the Armenians of Artsakh. We offer our love and support. At this conference, we will hear discussion of William Saroyan's stories and plays and other writings. I want to focus on his unique place in American culture, not only as a great writer, but as an influential personality, a symbol. 1942 was the year in which William Saroyan's reputation was at its highest point. He had won great honors, the Pulitzer Prize, the New York Drama Critics Award, and an Academy Award. His books and plays were known around the world. His stories were made into movies. And these are great achievements for any author. But Saroyan had accomplished even more than that. He had also become a cultural symbol, what we now call an icon, who represented a set of values and a philosophy of life. The adjective Saroyanesque was invented to express this philosophy. The word described his love of common humanity, his humor and simple decency, his insistence that we seek goodness everywhere, and especially his call for us to appreciate the precious gift of life. Surely these are his most famous words. In the time of your life, live, so that in that wondrous time you shall smile at the infinite delight and mystery of the world. This image of Saroyan was so firmly established that in 1942, the acclaimed playwright Samson Raphaelson wrote a comedy in which a major character, a brilliant playwright named Mike Ambler, was instantly recognized by everyone as a portrait of William Saroyan and an expression of his personality. Raphael's play, Jason, is about a cruel theater critic named Jason Otis, who is known for his harsh reviews and for his contempt for plays and actors. He is also unpleasant and inhibited in his personal life, and especially in his marriage. He doesn't like anybody. He's an important man, but he's not a happy man because he is living his life on a false basis, without an appreciation for humanity. Mike Ambler, the Saroyan character, challenges Jason's way of life. Ambler has written a play about common people that he declares is the first great play ever written by an American. He declares his own genius to be dazzling. He demands that the critic Jason read his play on the spot. Now, this boasting was immediately recognized as Saroyanesque. The real Saroyan had actually described his own play, The Time of Your Life, as perhaps one of the greatest plays ever written. He was not shy at that point about praising himself. So the satire of Saroyan is quite accurate. Fortunately, it is also quite affectionate and even respectful. Reluctantly, Jason does read Ambler's play. To his amazement, he finds it to be a masterpiece. He assures Ambler that he is a profound and beautiful artist, and that his work is saturated with the grandeur of simple human beings. Reading the play completely transforms Jason's life. It makes him a better person. He realizes now the limitations of his dry intellect. He knows that thinking begins with feeling, and that feeling represents all the people of the world. We may say that the soul of the critic, Jason, has been saved by the philosophy of the artist Saroyan through the character Mike. Jason's wife Lisa has also been living on a false basis. Though she claims to be from a wealthy family, she really grew up in poverty and is ashamed of it. Mike Ambler teaches her to be proud of her humble origins. There's a bit of romance between them, but in the end, Mike strengthens the marriage of Lisa and Jason by teaching them to live together on a more loving and truthful basis. The actor Nicholas Conte won much praise for his performance as Mike Ambler and for the way he imitated Saroyan's mannerisms, which audiences were familiar with. The journal Variety remarked that there was no attempt to hide the fact that the uninhibited playwright represents William Saroyan, with only mild exaggeration. The Newark Evening News called Mike Ambler an antic, unpredictable wonder boy patterned after the fabulous William Saroyan. The Daily Worker called the character Mike powerfully reminiscent in word and action of William Saroyan, uttering generalities about life, beauty, the primal urge, and love, especially love. The New York News described the character Mike Ambler as a portrait of an undisciplined genius, of a William Saroyan. Undisciplined, but a genius. Another critic, calling Saroyan the child of nature, the St. Francis from Fresno, noted that the play is concerned with the problem of how a sterile mind, that is, a dramatic critic's, is fertilized by a creative genius, that is, William Saroyan. All the reviewers took note of the central idea of the play, that William Saroyan had something to say that would make human life happier, more authentic, and more loving, if only we would listen to him. Saroyan was treasured by Americans at this moment in history, not only for his writings, but also for his philosophy of life and for his values. Few authors in history have received such affectionate public regard. Sadly, as we know, Saroyan's reputation declined in later years, but in 1942, he was a bright symbol of hope in a troubled world. In the midst of death and destruction, he reminded us of the unique value of human existence. This conference demonstrates that he is still such a symbol, and surely we need him now more than ever. Thank you again, and best wishes for the success of this conference and for the safety of Armenians everywhere. Thank you.